Everyone wants success. Everyone wants change. But the question is, what are you willing to do to get it? Or more importantly, what are you willing to do differently? If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same results. So what are you willing to change? I want to discuss with you the 4 questions that will change your life. The first question is, what are you willing to do? We're talking about time and commitment here. Are you willing to get up early? Are you willing to do the stuff that other people aren't willing to do? Are you willing to make something different in your life? Be honest with yourself. This takes a little reflection. This takes a little honesty with yourself. This takes some deep dive into who you are and what you're willing to do. Think about elite athletes. Usain Bolt, for example, the Olympic sprinter, the 100-meter gold medal champion. He said he trained 4 years to run 9 seconds. Think about that. 9 seconds to run 100 meters. He trained for 4 years. Are you willing to put in the effort, the time, the energy to train that long for the opportunity to run 9 seconds that will forever change your life? You can do that. It seems insane to most, but that's what makes him elite. He is willing to do what others aren't willing to do. Whether he feels like it, whether he wants to, whether he's motivated, he gets the job done. Here's the thing though, Usain Bolt is just a human being like you are. And if you devote yourself to what you want to do, what you're willing to do, and take the actions to do it, you could accomplish it too. Does that mean you're going to be a gold medalist? No, probably not. But it does mean you might accomplish your dreams. You might feel better about yourself in going after whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. It does mean you could feel better about yourself, about chasing a dream, about feeling good, about accomplishing. The second question is, what are you willing to do differently? This is where most folks get stuck. We get in patterns of doing the same thing over and over and over again. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So what are you going to do different? What are you going to change? If what you're doing isn't working, are you willing to pivot? Are you willing to try something different? Are you willing to go after it from a new direction, from a new standpoint? I know when I started my fitness/running journey about 8 years ago, I knew I needed to make a change. I was 260 pounds. I needed to lose some weight. I didn't have any idea what I was doing, but I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I started taking action. I started moving. I started feeling better. And in about 6 years, I had lost about 40 pounds. I felt pretty good, a whole lot better about myself. I definitely liked the way I looked better. But a couple years later, I really didn't feel great. I felt okay, but I knew something fundamentally needed to change. So I totally switched the way I ate. I totally changed my relationship to food, and I started focusing on what I was putting in my body and how it made me feel. And what I discovered in that year after that was when I started fueling my body better, I started feeling a whole lot better. And this is going to sound crazy, but the pounds literally melted off me. I lost an additional 40 pounds. I got down to my high school graduation weight. That's crazy, considering I graduated high school 40 years ago. But here's the thing. I was willing to do something different. 8 years ago, I changed my movement patterns. I changed what I was doing. I began to run, and I started feeling good about myself. But what I really needed to do was change not just my movement patterns, but my nutrition. And when I changed everything and got everything in line, in other words, I pivoted and found a new direction, everything started to flow. Everything felt better mentally, physically, emotionally. Everything felt good. Just like Usain Bolt, I'm just a human being. I was willing to make a change and do something different. But listen, this isn't about me. This is about you. And what are you willing to do differently? What are you willing to do in order to make that change, to get different results? The third question, and here's the one that's going to hit hard, is how willing are you? You say you want change, you think you want change, but when it comes right down to it, are you willing to do something? Are you willing to take the action? Talk is cheap. It's actions that count. So the question is, how willing are you to do the thing that you want to do? Whatever that change is. Change physically, change emotionally, change your movement patterns. Whatever that change is that you need, talking about it is one thing. Doing it is a whole nother thing. So how interested are you in success, or are you just talking about it? This is where the rubber meets the road. Do you really want to do the thing you think you do? Are you willing to do it when you don't want to? Are you willing to go against the grain? Do something different than your friends, your coworkers, your family even? Are you willing to put up with the, why are you doing that? Why do you get up early? Why do you work out after work? Why do you run so much? Why are you always concerned about what you're putting in your mouth? Are you willing to put up with that? Because really, you've got to be strong. You've got to have this thing called intestinal fortitude, or as some people like to call it, guts, to put up with the flack. You're going to raise your head above the crowd, and they're going to throw tomatoes at you. They don't want you to get better. They don't want you to change, because that might expose them to the things they need to do. So my question is, are you willing to put up with that? Are you willing to do it? You can. You're fully capable. I mean, if I can lose 80 pounds, if Usain Bolt can train for 4 years for 9 seconds, you can make whatever change that you want to make. Ultimately, are you willing though? The fourth and final question, are you willing to make this your number one priority? I mean, really, success and change and doing things differently comes down to prioritizing. Are you willing to make this a high priority thing in your life? In other words, when it's time, it's time. There's no excuses. This is the one thing that holds a lot of folks back, because it's difficult to change. It's not that it can't be done, it's difficult. And you have to be willing to do it. Make it a top priority. No excuses, no reasons why you can't, okay? You've got to have a can-do attitude, not a can't-do attitude. In the beginning, it's going to be really, really hard. It's going to be tough, because you maybe have been sedentary and now you've decided to move, or you've been working the same job for years and now you want to make a change. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take commitment. It's going to take priority. It needs to be number one. It needs to be, I'm going to do this no matter what happens. I'm going to do this no matter the circumstances. When it's pouring down rain, I'm still going to get out there and walk. I'm still going to get out there and run. I'm going to still get out there and do my thing. When I don't feel like it, I'm still going to do it. When I'm a little bit scared, I'm still going to do it. It has to be a top priority. It has to be something that you're willing to push through the negative thoughts in your brain and keep going and keep moving in that direction. Just keep doing it. It's got to be a priority. If it's not a priority for you, you'll always find a reason why not to do it. You'll always find it's more convenient to sit on the couch. Oh, I'll get to it tomorrow. That's why most folks are stuck. That's why you're stuck. It's because you're not willing to make it a priority. There's no negotiation here. It has to get done. And it's completely and totally up to you. You are in control of your attitude, your actions, your abilities. They're all within your grasp. The question is, are you going to take action? The question is, are you going to do it? The question is it a priority? Be honest with yourself. If it's not, you're not going to get it done. You're going to find a reason. You're going to find an excuse. You're going to stay where you are. And if that's your choice, quit complaining. Quit talking about it. Just be happy with where you are. Ultimately, it's your life. It's your responsibility. If you want it to be better, you've got to make it better. Nobody owes you anything. It's completely and totally within your control. The question is, are you going to take that control? Are you going to take that action? Are you going to do the things that you need to do? Are you going to make it a priority for you? Are you willing to make it a priority? It's up to you. You've got this. The truth is, success isn't about luck. It's about willingness. So ask yourself these 4 questions we've just gone over. Be honest with yourself. Take an honest inventory and then take action. You can do this. Here's what I want you to do. In the comments below, I want you to drop that one thing you're going to do differently. What are you going to change? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to prioritize? Put that in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's get the conversation going, because you are fully capable of making that change if you're willing to do it.